Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to The Way I See It, also known as Let's Be Frank. My name is Zahida, also known as Z, Kuleka, and Zaida. I answer to all of those. I have different sides of my personality, and each one of those names has a different personality. Today, I am just simply here as me. This is a platform called The Way I See It, and basically the idea is whatever I talk about is from the way that I see it. This has been perpetuated. Today's recording, I've identified three words that basically describes my current feeling and feelings, and basically it's outrage, overwhelmed, and overloaded. Basically outrage again because once again there has been an absolute horrendous shooting in the United States by an American who had unprecedented access to firearms and guns, and went in, had a mass shooting, and killed loads of innocent people. This is happening too often in America, but the side story to that is that the shooter, or shooters in this case in California, was Muslim. The resultant Islamophobia, of course, is spewing out of control, and I'm just so outraged by the misinformation sometimes available out there. And this is one of the reasons for this blog, is to help demystify the complexities of Islam or Muslims. But you know, there are two sides to every story, and today I just want to keep it light. And although that was the introductions, the outrage, the overwhelming information and overload that we get every day, just sometimes too much. So I know that there are, and we all know there are two sides to every story, and how we see certain things or how it's perceived by you before you find out the correct thing, that's up to you. You know, and you have a responsibility to either be active in what it is that you are pursuing, your ideals, or to understand more, but you can't just sit back and make opinions from your couch. You have to, or behind your computer, anonymously. Anyway, today I just want to keep it light. I want to read three things that I've come across, and just in terms of having two sides to every story, and say, you know, how do you see things? How do you see Islamophobia or the attacks, or not ISIS or IS, but not Islamic State? How do you see things? How do we all see things? So I wanted to read the following. A very short, it's by Khalil Gibran. This book is as old 1963, so I think it's 50 some odd years old. But the poems, of course, is a much older version. But most people are aware of who Khalil Gibran is. But in this case, I wanted to read three very, very short poems to basically outline the two sides to every story, and how when you see something, it could be something else completely. So I begin. This one is called The New Pleasure. Last night I invented a new pleasure, and as I was giving it the first trial, an angel and a devil came rushing towards my house. They met at my door and fought with each other over my newly created pleasure. The one crying, "It's a sin, it's a sin!" And the other, "Oh, it's a virtue, it's a virtue." The second one I'd like to read is called The Good God and the Evil God. The good God and the evil God met on the mountaintop. The good God said, "Good day to you, brother." The evil God made no answer. And the good God said, "You're in such a bad humor today." "Yes," said the evil God, "for of late I've been often mistaken for you, called by your name, and treated as if I were you, and it ill pleases me," said the evil God. And the good God said, "But I too have been mistaken for you, and called by your name." The evil God walked away, cursing the stupidity of the man. Finally, I'd like to read also by Khalil Gibran, the story of two learned men. Once there lived in an ancient city of Afkar two learned men who hated and belittled each other's learning. For one of them denied the existence of the gods, and the other was a believer. One night the two met in a marketplace, and amidst their followers they began to dispute and to argue about the existence of, or the non-existence of the gods. And after hours of contention, they eventually parted. That evening, the unbeliever went to the temple and prostrated himself before the altar and prayed to the gods to forgive him for his wayward past. And at that very same hour, the other learned man, he who had upheld the gods, burned his sacred books, for he had become the unbeliever. So wonderful by Khalil Gibran. Wonderful to see that there are two sides to a story, that you can shift who you are or what you believed in simply by going to seek the knowledge. So whether it's from here to China, please find out more and then make up your mind. But whatever it is, I hope you keep watching and I'll see you on the other side. Bye.